All right, what did I tell you? Blooming Waters rising in price. So it's at 159 now, literally where I kind of thought it'd be yesterday. So pretty much 160 right now. Seven sold yesterday, and it just keeps rising. There's a limit, so it's not gonna cross like bundle prices or anything. But like you do see it going to like 160 pretty quickly. 162, 165, and the quantity like available isn't that much. Like these two sellers have three each. Otherwise, like you see two over here, two over here. Everyone else has one. So yeah, not as many people selling Bloom Wars. Like these are kind of a hassle to ship. Most people just want for loose packs anyway, so like they do lose some money from that. And what's really interesting is that posters also essentially went up. So I don't know if I can find. Yeah, posters are right here, perfect. So there is one poster collection still really cheap. It is over here, so it's about $38. Otherwise, posters are $42, which if you track posters or not, may or may not seem like a big difference. But posters are finally at $14 a pack. Again, actually, I don't know if I've ever seen posters this high. I'm trying to remember if it ever cost. It went up to 40 before. I remember it went to 45. But if you look at like 151 packs have solidly been at $14 lately. So ever since yesterday, I was like, hey, yeah, like be aware of 151 packs. Like they're rising. I think on the page before us, there's one seller of like for 13.50 for one pack. That's like zero quantity, but everyone else selling these for $14 a pack. And so with all the sellers being insistent at $14 a pack, like you can see Blooming Waters and posters forced to rise because $14 like a lot of reprints are about margins, and they're like, wait, I have to charge extra dollar per pack now. They were $13 before. Um, and you're seeing posters be in line with that. So even posters isn't a cheap source anymore. Packs, like you get the promos and stuff. Like obviously, if you get rid of them, it's kind of worth it. But yeah, Billion Wars is barely more like cheaper than that. It's at 13.24 now. Let's see, 14 times 14. So Billion Waters could rise 14 times 14. Wait, 14 times 12. I thought that number seemed too high. 168. So Billion Wars could comfortably go to like $168. That's kind of where I see like so 170 is kind of ceiling right now because there's not really a reason to buy after that. Like the bundles are like a better option or whatever, possibly, or even maintain displays. So yeah, not really a reason to buy above that, but yeah, it still has some momentum left in it. And I don't know, at this point, a lot of people are just holding up their 151. Like they're like, hey, I don't want to sell this stuff. Like it just keeps rising. The Snorlax promo, that's like the only promo that I cover. Um, it's just doing amazing. Like there was that big buyout. It's back at $18. It's back at pretty much $19. This is pretty much $19. It's only two of them. And $20. So like there's that big buyout and hasn't really gone back down. There's been enough interest in it. It sells like over 50 a day most days. A lot of days it gets near 100. Um, if you want to look at the promos that are best selling, there is this link over here. Someone told me about this Victini promo from Black and White recently. So this is also I was surprised to see it selling there, but maybe I should have bought. He said he offered me some for a cheap price. And then a lot of these are 151 or like the ETB promos or whatever. So yeah, these are things that people are probably buying up right now. For bundles kind of dropped in demand. They went back up, so you see 32, 36, and these things might be rising soon. So it's been stuck around like 90 to 94 lately. You see about seven bundles here, but I finally see the 97s pop up again. So with all this 151 hype, we might start seeing the bundles rise closer to like 96 to 100. UPCs sold three yesterday, two today, and they're still exactly $600, but the price ladder is still there. Heading to like 615, 630, 650. Obviously UPCs is a desired item. For bundle displays, they haven't had any sales recently. There was this one over here. I thought I saw sales the other day, more of them. I didn't realize that the graph had broke. But yeah, now they're about like 1430 still. For uh loose packs, everyone over those. About like the number of packs sold was only about 47. So yeah, people are buying less packs right now at the moment. Because these are getting so expensive. Like these are getting ridiculously expensive to the point where like yeah, this crushes margins for some people, especially smaller streamers or whatever. ETB demand sold two yesterday, and there's one left, and it goes to 950 for PCTB, and then yeah, actually the number of PCTBs under 1,000 suddenly dropped a lot. So people bought up these two yesterday. After there was no sales for 2 days, and now there's only two left. So this is straight back on track to $1,000. There's only 3 left available. Um, for normal ETBs, there are 415 selling pretty well, selling about like 3 or 4 per day. So 4 sold yesterday, and the price ladder isn't that great, but sometimes it just suddenly jumps. But yeah, it could rise to like 420 for 445 or 425. Yeah, posters already went into, so 8 posters sold yesterday, and people buy posters if they're the cheapest packs. People are probably looking at all the 151 packs. They're just doing the math. I don't cover all the items, but yeah, you can just tell for these items like there's not even that much quantity. It's heading toward like $45. Maintenance display, still feel like this is definitely undervalued for like the scarcity. But I know not everyone wants these. But yeah, they're still pretty cheap price for pack wise. Stuck around $300, and then binders finally had a sale. They haven't had a sale in forever. They had a sale today, but yeah, someone finally bought a binder collection. Graph is broken. Hopefully it'll go back tomorrow once this bar goes out of the way. But yeah, binders have been pretty stagnant. All right, is this it? Is Destined Rivals finally gonna start dropping? So 2 straight days of decreases. You see the cases are down another $55. So it's after the amazing run up to 20, almost 2,700. So it's not really that bad of a correction yet, but we're not really sure how low it'll go. But yeah, I mean it was only $2,000 a few days ago. And then booster boxes at 360 now. We're up to 365. Nothing too different at 360. PCTBs did a big drop. I haven't looked at that. We'll take a look at that. It's down $35. ETBs are down $3. So let's just take a look. So I look at the cases first. So cases haven't been selling ever since like a lot of them have been bought out, and the price rose like $600. So RJ Breaks is back. They have 3 cases available for about 2,600, and they're undercutting the next seller by about $50. So we'll see if they sell out, but still a lot of people still listing cases for quite high. When I look at booster boxes, I'm not really that worried. I still see about barely single digits, so almost double digits, 9 sold per day. And there's this one cheaper seller here. Otherwise, the price does jump up to 367 pretty quickly after these 2 sellers. And 370 is kind of the more normal price point. After at 370, you see a little bunching up, but that seems to be 360, 370 seems to be currently where the market wants to place Destined Rivals. For the PCTB, we see actually 11 sold yesterday. It's not bad for the man numbers. And yeah, there's just this one seller playing 3 of them. Pretty cheap at about 326 or whatever. Then it goes back up to 360, 362. This is also kind of slowing down. It's going around 370. The card followers I mentioned before, they have 30 of these, so the price can't really rise that much. For normally TBs, they sold 18 yesterday. Actually, the second most sold this whole month. That's kind of interesting. These don't usually rise as much. And then for booster bundles, we see 22 sold yesterday, and the price can go up, but these items, like people who scalp or whatever, like whatever you want to call it, get online drops, they can get these 2 items. They don't usually rise as much, and they're not as exclusive. All right, it's finally happening. Seeing Sky is at 190, so this has been coming for a while, and honestly, like this just reinforces the pattern of what will and has happened with these sort of huge Sam Slubs boxes. So there's CS Guy, this was the original, and there's Blooming Waters, and now this is the Lucario box. So these things remain cheap for a while. Actually, I want to look at the graph because I haven't looked at the graph for a while. So these things, this is around when they came out probably. Actually, it was like last summer. So last summer, like they were still pretty cheap. Like they were selling for about $60. So they sold for a while. It slowly rose, but like nothing too crazy. And then it just eventually now it's originally it was $60. Now they're selling for $180. So yeah, definitely a lot of return for the value. And yeah, I've been calling this out for a while just because the price per pack made more sense. So a few days, so before this, they were around, let's say 178, 1278 pack. I was like, hey, loose packs are so much more expensive. What's going on? And then over this last, I guess, week, it's been going up. So 182, 185. Then it's very stagnant there. It's finally at 190 now. And you're finally seeing the price per pack be like, hey, it's 1357 pack, something more reasonable. And also JM Sneakers, the seller who listed a bunch, they finally raised their price. I don't know why they still sell so much. Like literally it just looks like they're trying to I guess like the shipping cost, maybe they want to save on shipping, but it just looks like 6 or I don't know. I guess for these big items it makes a little more sense maybe. But yeah, they were like that seller is one of the reasons why the price is so low. So 8 sold yesterday, 20 sold the day before, and because JM Sneaker is one of the like undercutters, is selling for less now, around 200, or selling for more now. The price is heading straight toward around, like, let's see, this is, all these sellers only have one. This one over here is about 180. This is heading toward $200. Um, this is about 200. This is about 195. This is about 195. So only this seller, there's only one at 190. So this is heading up. For loose packs, the loose packs sold 21 yesterday, so it's actually not that bad. Plus, no, it's actually 21. That's actually accurate. There's always some like cheaper packs. Now there's 13 of these at 13.19. Otherwise, packs are still around 13.50 or even $14. Like there's only 18 packs here, but I'll still put 13.50. Etbs, they sold four yesterday. They've been selling pretty consistently, about like 3 or 4 a day, and they haven't really risen yet, but there is still that big jump to 235. Booster bundles are at 115 again. Sold 2 today, and yeah, they're just trying to get out of the 115 range to 120 over here. And then PCTBs have been selling more lately, so you see like 5, then 2, then 0, but then 1 sold yesterday. So people are just picking these up before they reach $500. But yeah, the Seeing Sky up $6 today. It's gonna keep rising. Alright, so Paldean Fates bundle display to keep dropping. Now they're about 1410. They haven't really sold much. They sold one a few days ago, but like yeah, the game capital over here. Now it's just 1410. Otherwise, it keeps it's at 1450. So down about $40. This thing kind of keeps dropping. It's at $23 a pack. At some point, it gets so cheap that people, it's obvious buy. These two prices will intersect a little bit, and then it's like, why would I buy booster bundles when you get displays for about the same price? Booster bundles, they sold only about 4 yesterday. Demand's been kind of dropping a lot of the days in like barely single digits. And then 83 sold yesterday. I mean, 83 is on the markets, and so it's always like less than 100 nowadays. And I'm still seeing just like there's not that many people selling these. That's the main reason why. Like 110, no one wants to sell these. I'm seeing this of a lot of 151 and Paldean now. People are holding onto it, or there's actually no supply. It's one or the other. And yeah, it's just keeping the. We're gonna see the conflict in that. People are gonna eventually have to buy though. 23 sold yesterday for packs, and packs are still around $15. And yeah, that looks about right. Actually, there's 15 over here, 3 over here, so 18 plus. That's about 40 packs sold yesterday. For ETB, still around $300. Sold 2 yesterday, and a lot of sellers are trying to sell these for 300. It only goes up to 310, 315. And then PCTB still around $500. Sold 0 yesterday, and there's still that ladder up, but yeah, ETB demand has been lower lately. Alright, Prismatic Booster Bundle demand is doubling. You see that 216 bought today, and the normal amount of demand is usually about like 76, 90. There's been some spikes recently of about like 120, 150, 136, 170. So there's been some spikes, but other than that, it's been pretty much double. Even like compared to this 120 to like this 123, it's still about double that. It's the most bought this whole month, and Prismatic is still doing really well. The ETBs are up against that in a sec, and people are just buying this before it gets more expensive. There's a bunch. Prices hasn't really changed much, but like when I sort by best selling, this is the best selling Prismatic item according to TCG Player right now, and you can see people are buying up these bundles for whatever reason, open for launch or whatever. The price per pack for these is $9.50. So yeah, not the cheapest thing, but only $1 more than the cargo boxes. Yeah, so people are buying these up, and Prismatic ETBs finally above 110. I think it may have crossed 110 yesterday actually, but it's at 113 now. No, actually it's right at 110. It's past 110, it's back to 113. So these are recovering. So they really can't. They're not printing enough of this stuff to really keep it down. It keeps going back up. You see 36 sold yesterday, and yeah, it's going to like 115. 115. I don't really see any prices past 115, but that's sort of the next price point. And what I see is there's like no quantity. Pikachu Empire over here, nice name. There's 4 listed, but everything else like this says 2-1. Like there's no big offload of Prismatic ETBs. People know it's on the rise right now. And I mentioned these ECB cases. No sales yesterday, but these are like There's $146 at ETB now. These have recovered back. So if you missed it, technically you can still pick these up. But yeah, there's not a ton of these on the market. So as these get bought up, like it's not like they're gonna be resold or anything, because of all the fees and warranty street player. So yeah, these are doing pretty well. Prismatic is just super strong. What can I say? The PCTB sold 23 yesterday, so this has also doubled in demand. Probably should have left with that. And you see one of these for 342, and this is still around $400 right there. And if I look at the price differences, like ETVs are up 350, super premium down $55 because there's one cheap seller got to that in a sec. PCTVs down $2, but they're gonna rise right back up. The Caro box is up $1. Yeah, Prismatic SPCs. I'm kind of tempted to buy these because I've been looking for Prismatic SPCs. And there's these four of them for about 200 each. Seller has no sales or anything, so no reviews. So a little iffy on that, but like honestly, like it's not that much under market that like it's super suspicious. If it was like 220, make a little more sense. See, like they're just desperate to sell all of them. I mean, these are pretty big, so it will save on shipping costs for them. But yeah, to resold yesterday. This is still around 260, okay, 265. Yeah, this is a seller. Didn't see any feedback or anything. Prismatic packs are still selling really well. So they're, let's see, 192 packs sold. So doing really good, and prices are still around $9 a pack. Pretty solid. Like the Lucario boxes are around the same price as well. These haven't been dropping. For booster bone displays, there's one sold a few days ago. Otherwise, prices are around the same. For Main-Tin displays, there's been increased demand, like more consolidated demand. Some days selling two per day, and I think people are starting to pick these up as Prismatic is getting more expensive. Yeah, the amount of supply at the under $200 mark. Own acquisition says 11 of them. This might start moving. I don't really expect it to move that much, but yeah, this is Prismatic is, despite all the reprints, Prismatic is still doing really well. Lucario boxes sold 13 yesterday. Yeah, there's not like the biggest amount of demand for these things. So 13 yesterday, 10 today, and they're about 120 now. And the fact that these are maintaining the price point is really good. But yeah, we're seeing that bundles, packs, and Lucario boxes, they're the cheap pack options out of all these things. Like there's other things like, I guess text stickers could be okay. I don't really cover those anymore, but I would prefer bundles. Bundles are more desired. Posters are usually really cheap. But other than that, everything that I'm tracking, like ETBs are back at about $12.50 a pack. So that's similar to Super Premium Collection right now. If we're getting within $1, so that's pretty impressive. And everything else, like tin displays, they're still pretty cheap, 12.30. And then PCTVs are really expensive, and bundle displays are also really expensive. Alright, Mega Evolution continues to drop. So this is sort of normally what happens during pre-release for Pokemon nowadays. So just pretty normal, seeing a lot of red. Nothing too major. Seeing just like kind of like dollar-ish sort of decreases. Booster box is down $1, $2. Case is down $4. The loose box and the case price are about the same. That's also not too abnormal because we're getting close to like where everyone's undercutting each other. There's not as much opportunity, and also during release, like cases are actually sometimes cheaper than booster boxes just because people want to sell them off. Eventually, they'll flip, especially in this market as there's so much turnover. Cases like you see what happened in Destined Rivals, the cases are worth a lot more. It depends on the set though, but yeah, the better the set, the more pronounced it will be. For booster boxes, 40 so yesterday. So demand isn't terrible, but something about 40, 60 per day just isn't enough to get rid of the supply from all these bigger sellers. You see like 60 over here, 18 over here, 84 over here, 30 over here. It's just not enough to get through that. People will continuously list more and more as their stuff gets sold because they probably have a ton of these. They just keep relisting. For the non-enhanced box, you see 5 so yesterday. Just always has sales. They're at 320 now. Still pretty expensive. For Mega Evolution ETBs, sold 26 yesterday, still around the same price, just under $100. PCTBs sold one yesterday, always just one seller selling at 400. Booster bundles sold about 39 yesterday, kind of the same number of bundles sold. And then cases should still be selling. Yeah, cases are selling about one per day, but sometimes two. Everyone's bunching up at the same price just because everyone wants to sell these off and get some money. Alright, Final Fantasy, you're seeing collector boxes go back down to 1290s. They're really struggling around that $1,300 mark. Playbot cases are up $13 back to 1463, but still getting back down. I guess like they were only 600 for a day. Otherwise, the price point seems to be more toward 1470. Playbox down 4, and then there's some other like dollar changes that aren't really that big. For the demand of these, because I'm always interested in demand. So we see double digits, 14, pretty good. So this is still selling pretty well, and just still see some price bunch up. Like all these sellers are selling right around 1300. Like it's the range isn't very, the spread isn't very big. It's 1290 to about 1300. Here is about 1305. For cases just haven't really been selling. You see sales like every 4 or 5 days. Still seeing a bunch of cases. I really wonder when this will reverse, and if people regret not getting the 8300 cases, but it'll probably reverse eventually. For collector packs, you're seeing still double digits, 15 sold, 13 sold. So yeah, it was starting to possibly drop, but double digits is still fine. And yeah, we see the two undercutters, Kings Game MVP Sports Games, these two LGSs or whatever they are. They're undercutting each other like by 5 cents or whatever. That might drop these packs down quite a bit over time. We'll kind of see about that. But yeah, if you have two undercutters trying to undercut each other, they have a lot of supply. Like you'll see prices probably gradually go down, but they're already down $1. Omega packs at 145, kind of its normal range. Sold 3 yesterday, and doesn't really seem like it will rise very much. It's still just very comfortable in its range. Japanese boxes, I think it's still around the same price point. You see 1 sold yesterday. They were selling more lately. Now they're starting to flatten out a little bit after they've been dropping like this whole month. So yeah, I'm just looking to see when we're gonna cross back. There's about 7 of them that are still pretty cheap, and it goes back 737. Play boxes at 240. We see 15 sold yesterday, and still around 240, 250 is the normal range. Cases, there's 8 cases available right now. Another case sold yesterday, so people are still buying up the cases. Another case at 1450 sold yesterday, and there's just one seller left at 1463. Otherwise, it goes back to the 1500s. That's pretty good. There's just not a lot of supply of these things. Gift bundles, they sold double digits, barely 10 yesterday. So these are like usually high single digits number of sales, and you know they're in their normal range of 205 to 210. Spiderman, I think that keeps dropping. Let's look at the prices. Yeah, it was like at 7. You know, it was at 800 just yesterday actually, around 800. It went to 700. And then now it's at like 750. Yeah, it's less than 50 right now. So these things keep dropping because they didn't have any serialized cards. Plus, we're getting closer to release, but yeah, the hype for Spider-Man has died down quite a bit. And then play boxes, we see sales pick back up to about 64, not quite 100, but prices I think did drop. I think they went back up to like 194. Now they're back down to like 187. If I remember that correctly, it may not. I do see some 191 sales yesterday. Yeah. I mean, it's still kind of in the same range, but it is kind of dropping. All right, joining together. So prices are technically exactly the same as yesterday. So I mentioned yesterday how there were a bunch of cases bought out. And I do see booster boxes heading toward 240 now. So 0 sold yesterday, 2 sold safe for this booster box. This was at 235. I guess there's 14 available, so that is quite a big quantity. But otherwise, you see like this also 235. It heads to about 240 around here. A lot of the sellers want to sell for 240 since everything is kind of heading to more expensive, and yeah, joining together is still the cheapest box if it's not even 240 yet. This other box is interesting because the non-enhanced box and the enhanced box are reaching similar in price with that. This is sold to yesterday. This is about 249. It used to be like way like $20-$30 difference. Now it's like a lot smaller. Just a lot of people are bunching up and putting around the same price for joining together the boxes here. PCTBs, they sold one yesterday, and they're still around 180, trying to get to 200, which isn't too far away, but the card fathers did put a bunch of supply, so this is a little stagnant. In this case over here, there were a lot of cases bought the other day, so I'm not surprised I don't see any sales. But right now there's about 4 of these. RJ breaks his back, putting a bunch of cases, but yeah, there's about 5 cases here, about just under 1500. Then it goes to 1525, and it goes to actually to 16, like 1700. So there's actually not that many cases for cheap over there. There's only about 6. This other case had no sale just because it's kind of ridiculously expensive. Alright, Black Bolt White Flare. So I just want to go through some of this promo over here. So I've heard about this promo from a friend, and yeah, the price of this has gone down. It went down to like $7, and now it's up to like $14, $15. And so this is the promo from the Black Bolts Victini box, and I didn't realize how few packs are in here, but there's only like 2 packs, so it's not really that worth it for as far as packs go. This dropped to as low as about 35, and you got face marketplace possibly could have gotten it for like 30. But yeah, this promo has really gone up. The price has also gone up accordingly because of that, and so yeah, it's if you're into promos, this is getting a lot of attention. I guess it is pretty nice. The Victini is like one of the is that red chase card for Black Bull White Flare. It's just something interesting if you're interested in the set. Otherwise, like Black Bull White Flare doesn't have that many interesting things except PCTBs, I guess. Uh, ETBs are still selling around $90. 22 so yesterday, it's kind of normal. PCTB still around 200. Sold 3 yesterday, 5 today, and they can head to like 210 actually, but I think it's been like that for a while. But there's only a little bit, and we're heading toward 210 or 220. Bundles are bundle demand's going back up. It was dropped to 35. Now it's going back up to 50 and 60. So 49 sold the other day. 58 sold yesterday. So these might yeah, that's good that some people do want to open the sets. For binders, you see binder demand's been pretty low. Only 2 per day last few days. White Flare ETB is still around $80. Sold 16 yesterday, and yeah, just commonly around that price. For PCTB, sold 4 yesterday. Let's look at to see if it can rise. It actually has, it can go to 210 as well. But I think there's a few more around 200 mark than Black Bull. There's even one for 190 right now, which is kind of cheap. For bundles, you see 39 sold yesterday. It's not too bad. Yeah, demand's kind of dropped. It's a little bit more consistent too. And then binders still around 47 and only sold about 7 yesterday. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.